Hello, everybody. Welcome to Little Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 30K subscribers over here, so that subscription would be much appreciated. Also, drop a like on the video. Today's video is going to be about Devin Booker and him signing a huge extension with the Phoenix Suns. Last time I talked about Devin Booker was, I think the title was like the Devin Booker trade situation is stupid. And I still feel that way, although I feel differently now within the context of where we are now because time has passed and things changed. So let's talk about what happened. Devin Booker signs a 2-year, $145 million contract extension with an annual salary of $72.5 million per year for those 2 years, and that means that his contract in totality now is a 5-year, $316 million deal. He is locked up all the way into 2030. Devin Booker took the money. Devin Booker did not prioritize the possibility of winning when it would happen on another team, and I think that's okay. I am always going to advocate for a star player who is good as hell to not be on a team that is bad. So that's pretty much universally what you're going to see from me. I don't actually, at least I don't think, I hit the you should trade this player now button all too often. The only time I do it is when the situation is truly dire and desperate. And I did that with Devin Booker because given the Kevin Durant trade did not yield all that much, given that they don't have a particularly great roster around the guy, I was just like, the situation seems inevitable. And whenever a situation is inevitable, I feel it's better to get ahead of it than to sit on it, because if you sit on it, well, then you end up being the Chicago Bulls and you trade DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Alex Caruso, and you don't get back a fucking first-round pick. So that was my mentality, both that it's not really Devin Booker's best interest to be here because he should be wanting to play winning basketball elsewhere, and it's not really in Phoenix's best interest either because they could potentially get back some of their own draft capital by trading him, which would allow them upward mobility to go in a new direction as a franchise. At the same time, though, the Phoenix Suns do not exactly have a great history of great players. So when you have one like Devin Booker who has a chance to be, I still don't think he surpassed Steve Nash or Charles Barkley as a Phoenix Sun, but he's going to end up being there so much longer that he probably will just by that fact alone. He's a very good player. It matters a lot that he sticks around there if they're trying to be competitive. My thing is just, are they going to, though? I was talking to Nick from the Motown Noah or the Coping Hour podcast, also does a lot of edits over here, probably going to edit this video. And we were he was like, what's up with this? You going to make a Devin Booker video? Here it is. My take was like, I guess he consulted Bradley Beal and Bradley Beal alone when he decided to make this decision, where it was like, I'm at a real crossroads in my career here where I could ask for a trade, go somewhere to possibly contend, or I could stick around and collect a fat paycheck because 5 years, $316 million, god damn, damn near a third of $1 billion is what Devin Booker will be making over the next 5 years. That is hard to turn down. Now, I'm also one to be like, bro, the difference between $50 million and $70 million is more money in your bank account that doesn't actually tangibly affect your life all that much, unless you're a full-blown idiot who blows their money very easily. Not that that's uncommon throughout NBA history, and apparently recent history too with Malik Beasley. But like, if you sign a contract where you're making $50 million every year, it's pretty easy not to blow that amount of money. You just have to be not the dumbest, craziest person ever. I personally, my mentality, like if I were to put myself in the shoes of an NBA player and say, okay, I'm making $50 million, I don't think the rest of it, I don't think I need it. Like, I don't think I'm going to choose a worse situation in terms of winning basketball for that reason. But I'm not Devin Booker, and I don't expect everybody to have the same philosophies about money that I do, which is once I have enough, don't really need the rest of it and don't really want to work for it. So it's fine that he took the money. But There is one caveat with that, and it's what I want to throw in with the Bradley Beal comparison. It's okay that he took the money, but he did that knowing what is to come. He did that knowing what the consequences would be in terms of the quality of basketball that he would be playing and contributing to, the level of talent that he would have around him. And I don't want to fucking hear it from him. I don't want to hear a word about how bad the situation is. I don't want cryptic social media posts. I don't want a bunch of images or video of you pouting on the bench looking like, oh, why am I here? Because you signed a massive fucking contract to stay there knowing it wasn't the best situation for winning. That is why you did it. It really annoyed me when Bradley Beal did that shit when he was with the Wizards for like 5 years in a row. It was like this constant cat and mouse of if he was actually going to stay with the Wizards or not. Devin Booker, don't do that shit, because it's a great way to sour people on you as a player and as a personality. It is a great way to make people turn against you, the same way that they did against Bradley Beal. Take your money. No one gets mad at you for taking your money, but taking your money and then being like, oh man, the consequences of my actions. Don't do that shit. That's all that I'm asking, truthfully. But the Phoenix Suns, I think they can be a pretty good team relative next year. And by that, I mean, I think they can be what the Washington Wizards were with Bradley Beal. They could be a 40-ish win team that could maybe be enough to get you a play-in spot in the Western Conference. But the Suns are not going to contend unless there is some, like, out-of-nowhere diamond-in-the-rough player on this team. That is technically a possibility that always exists, just not a particularly safe one to bet on, but the reality is there at least. I do leave that possibility open for the most part. Devin Booker chose to spend, going into his mid-30s, because it's 5 years and he's 28, going to be 29 to start the year. So yeah, 33, 34 by the time that contract is over. He is choosing to go into his mid-30s in a bad situation for the money. That is the choice he made, and let's not get that shit fucked up. That is what happened. I'm generally pretty neutral on Devin Booker, as a player and as a person. I'm not really that invested. I just know how mad Bradley Beal doing that shit made me, so I would like to be sure that it doesn't happen again. Don't do that, Devin. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. A shout out to Nick for editing this video, and goodbye. I feel differently now within the context of where we are now because time has passed and things changed.